Here we are then. This is Joe's GP1 onboard, no, GP2 onboard. Here it is Tyrrell for the start of the season. He's away. And it's a good start by Joe, but Lewis looks like he's had a flying start. And there's been a jump start as well. So it's going to be 3 wide into turn 1. What's going to happen? Joe's going to go flying down under braking and keep both positions. So Lewis looks like he got compromised by that guy. He got the drive-through penalty. But the Ferrari loses out to the Tyrrell here at the start. Going around turn 4, Joe holding off the Ferrari in the early stages of this race. But it's a long race and Lewis looking for a move. Joe saying, nah, thanks, mate. You can stay behind me for now. Heading down into turn 7 and 8. Joe goes for the late apex. Lewis looks for a move. Again, he gets denied. Now heading around campsite. He's going to go for the inside. But Joe again hangs it around the outside. Incredible moves here by Joe to keep the position over Lewis. And Lewis is on the soft tyres. He should be faster. But Joe eating up a bit of grip out of those mediums to hold first place and hold track position. This can really mess with your strategy if you're Lewis, as it'll mean you have to pit earlier, and it means Joe can really dictate your strategy now in terms of track position. But it also means it will hurt Joe's tyres as well, which could cost him compared to other drivers like Max. So Joe again holding off the lead with some good ERS management, using a bit of overtake down the straight. He heads through turn 3 now. You can see Lewis in that rear view mirror near the top of your screen. Joe here. Joe goes wide. Joe's bottled it. He's got on the grass and Lewis has slipped through. So Joe, who led for the first lap and first lap or two. No, not first lap or two, but he's led for the first lap, and on lap 2, he's gone wide and lost the lead. Now we skip to the end of lap 2. On to lap 3. Joe, can he get that lead back? After nearly bottling it, he goes to the outside. Now he goes to the inside. Lewis tries to defend. He can't defend. Or can he? Because Joe's going to brake on the inside. Use a lot of curb to avoid any crashing. And he does. Make the move on Lewis. So good stuff by Lewis and Joe. Joe known for commentating, as he is the person commentating right now. And Lewis known for being very aggressive with racecraft. Whether it works or not is another question. But Joe, again, doing everything he can to hold off Lewis. Max has actually been the one who's claimed the fastest lap on those soft tyres, as he's probably one of the only ones in the race who isn't battling, that's on pace. But we head through turn 9 then, and into the 10th corner, the corner that got remodelled a couple of years ago. Lewis looking for a move again, but Joe not letting it happen. Or is he? Because Lewis is still there on the inside. No, he's not. He has to back out. But Joe here really making Lewis work for this. As Joe not letting up here in Spain. But heading down into turn 1. Joe on the ERS. Trying to make it work with Lewis. Lewis though to the outside. He's just inching to the outside, and Joe again late on the brakes in turn 1, has the inside line and just shuts the door on Lewis. This is incredible, as now Lewis back to the inside, but Joe says no. Joe doing everything in the book and more to keep this lead. Lewis back to the inside of turn 4. Joe again hanging the momentum around the outside of turn 4 to keep the lead. And this is on the slower medium tyres, the tyres that are a bit more slippery than the soft tyres that the red Ferrari's on in the mirror. But Joe doing a great job to keep Lewis in the mirror rather than ahead of him on the screen right now. It's been a great job by Joe so far in this race. Lap 4 of 22 here in the Spanish Grand Prix. And Joe goes wide though. Again, another mistake creeping in there for Joe on his debut here in retro racing. He's putting up a good fight, but Lewis to the inside, into the penultimate corner, gets ahead. But Joe now hanging it to the outside, doesn't make it. So Joe has to make something work here. He's now heading down his turn 1 in the DRS and using a little bit of ERS to draw alongside Lewis, heading into turn 1, and on the inside again, Joe makes it work and leads through the second corner for another time. And Lewis again trying to come back, but again, nothing is done to keep Lewis from being passed. This is great racecraft by the pair of them. These two are battling like Verstappen and Leclerc back in Bahrain. It's incredible as the Tyrrell of Joe staying ahead of the Ferrari of Lewis. Now we head back onto the straight here. We're just loading the clip, it looks like. Here we go, we're heading up into turn 4 on lap 6. And Joe nearly running onto the grass again, and it's a safety car deployed. And this will mean strategy starts to creep in for these two. But what a battle up until then, though.